China is known for breaking itself apart all the time, but surprisingly in the 1800s, China was mostly unified under the Qing dynasty, and life in the Qing dynasty was better than ever. It was like a utopian wet dream come true. No wars, everyone lives peacefully. Of course, I'm just kidding, man. Nothing in China can be without violence. The condition of people living in the 19th century Qing dynasty was like the condition of my stomach after eating 4 plates of chole bhature at my sister's wedding. Not good. Life was basically just farming to produce nothing, leading to famines, and due to that you get depressed, so you turn to some good old opium supplied by the Brits. And after that you get addicted to opium, leading to an economic crisis for your country, but you still have a pretty good looking wife, so you have at least 4 children to increase the men who could help you in your farming chores, which was basically the only way you could survive. Boy, was life tough. And that's why this entire period was known as the century of humiliation in China. And during this entire facade was born Mr. Hong Xiuquan, I cannot pronounce that, Google.
Hong Xiuquan.
In the province of Guangdong. Hong was from a Hakka family. Hakka are basically an ethnic group, and back in the day were mostly farmers, really poor farmers. Hong himself though was a very smart guy and dreamt of one day becoming member of the imperial administration, but for this he had to pass the imperial examination, which let's be honest, was very difficult, like UPSC level difficult for my Indian students. If you know, you know. So unfortunately Hong failed, not once, not twice, but thrice. And then he started going all crazy, which is why his family started worrying for his mental health. He reportedly had very regular nervous breakdowns. During this nervous breakdown time, he came across some Christian books written by Liang Fa, the second Chinese convert to Protestant Christianity. But he didn't really pay attention to them because, well, who gives a shit about books? And it was during this time that one random night my man was dreaming, and then he saw heaven, and the heavenly father, mother, sisters, brother-in-laws, the whole family, bro. And then he got to know that he was in fact Jesus' younger brother. He claims that God in that dream enlightened him to get rid of the demon-like corrupt king government and Confucian teachings. He said Confucian was being punished by God, and also said that Hong's name was very boring, so Hong changed his name into Hong Xiuquan. And then he failed the imperial examination another time. It was only after this that Hong finally decided to read Liang Fa's book, and boy was he astonished, because in 1847 he finally converted to Protestantism. And during this time he met a certain man who went by the name of Feng Yushan, and with him he co-founded the God Worshipping Society, but unlike the name suggests, it was actually a religion, I think. Wikipedia, are you lying to me? Hong was made the leader of the society, and they started preaching their religion in Guangxi, which of course the king government did not like. My translation of the Bible tells us that we need to kill the Manchus because they are demons and they are the sole cause of all our problems. Why are you advocating for genocide though? I'm just preaching my religion. That's not what you're doing. I'm Jesus' younger brother. As the God Worshipping Society was declared illegal by the government, the society launched the Jintian Uprising, a small-scale revolt battle between the King Army and Hong Society. So who do you think will win this battle? The experienced King Green Army or the rebellious forces of the God Worshipping Society? Well, if you guess the King Green Army, then you're wrong. Very wrong, because to everyone's shock, Hong's army won their battle at Guangxi. And after this, Hong declared himself the heavenly king of his self-proclaimed heavenly kingdom of peace, which did not look like a kingdom, to say the least. So the heavenly kingdom of peace had to grow and expand, and what better way to expand than manifesting destiny? So they captured all this land, and now the heavenly kingdom of peace looked really big and scary. In 1853, Hong's forces took control of Nanjing after emerging victorious in the first battle of Nanjing. Throughout all this, innocent lives were lost, as after asserting their control over Nanjing, the Taiping killed all Manchu men and all Manchu women to death. After being subject to such atrocities, Nanjing was made the capital of the kingdom. Life in the heavenly kingdom of peace was basically everything but peaceful. It was a sort of communist country, you know. It had the usual no private property, no sharp class divisions, one sole authoritarian leader, a secret force to eliminate all political opponents, and they lied a lot. All the defining features of a communist country. Now after capturing all that land, the Taipings were filled with overconfidence. So the kingdom sent out two major forces made up of almost 100,000 men each. One was sent to the north and one to the west. And my fellow soldiers, we have officially won our first city. But there is still this huge well-defended fort which we still haven't sieged. Bob, don't you worry. It's all okay. They won't take the land back. Why not, because that's not what good people do, Bob. Sir, I think they already took the land back. Look, a flying Ferrari, guys. Look. What? The northern expedition originally aimed to capture Beijing, and the Taipings did capture many cities, but they just forgot to keep them, you know. So the only hope was from the western expedition. And my fellow soldiers, we have officially won our first city. But there is still this huge well-defended fort. Oh, Bob, don't you worry. It's all okay. They won't take the land back. I think they already took the land back. Look, a flying Ferrari. Yeah, the western expedition wasn't really that different. In the next few years, Hong's role in the administrative life of the Heavenly Kingdom government sort of faded away. Hong decided to spend less time worrying and more time having fun. But the thing is that Taiping Christianity heavily regulated and controlled every aspect of an individual's life, including marriage as well as... The Taiping Heavenly Kingdom had a really weird society. Men and women were equal but were segregated in all spheres of life. You needed approval from the government to even engage in any. And their own leader didn't follow both the things I just said. Eventually, seeing Hong's hypocritic nature, one of his ministers, Yang
Xiuquan,
who was in charge of everything while Hong was on his break, decided to stage a coup against him. I mean, he at least attempted to, but then... Guess what happened? Hong slaughtered everybody he was suspicious of.
Meanwhile,
in the Hunan province, this guy, Zheng Guofan, did not like seeing the King army being bullied by some amateur farmers. So he personally created an army known as the Xiang army, which was very different from the rest of the King armies because it won battles. But while the Taiping Rebellion was going on, the King army was also fighting the strongest Western power of the time, the British, along with the France, in the Second Opium War, because the local Chinese were really addicted to opium. Now initially, the British had actually ignored Hong and his advances, but when they got to know about the way in which Hong had interpreted the Bible, they were, let's say, concerned. So the Europeans sent Major General Charles George Gordon and Frederick Townsend Ward to help the king make an actually good army. And so they made a little army, which later became known as the Ever Victorious Army, and boy, do not judge them by their size. This army single-handedly defended the siege of Shanghai, not once but twice. Now Hong, out of desperation, sent a final attempt at trying to make a comeback in this war. This was known as the Eastern Expedition. Now what was the difference between the Western, Northern and Eastern expeditions? To say the least, it was direction, because this one was equally unsuccessful. Eventually in 1862, the only major city which the kingdom still held on to was Nanjing. So naturally, the Qing Empire started a siege of the city which lasted for years. Due to the very long siege, the city became very undersupplied, but Hong still believed God and divine intervention would save the heavenly kingdom of peace.
how dumb can you be?
In 1864 started the Third Battle of Nanjing, one of the most brutalest battles of the entire rebellion. Contemporary accounts describe looting, burning, mass slaughter and abductions on a horrifying scale. It is estimated that tens of thousands of people lost their lives. By this time, Hong still believed God would save him. This man is such a big idiot.
Just calm down. Calm down.
Tommy, do you know what day it is?
Thursday?
It's the day I complete the purpose of my life and kill Hong right after I entered this room. 3, 2, 1. Hands up, Hong, you're finished. Where is he? Where is he? Oh, Hong's dead. Hong's already dead. What the fuck? Boom! Gofan's dead. Oh shit, Hong's also dead. The person who led the most ferocious and one of the most deadly civil wars in the history of mankind died in his own palace because of poisoning. Food poisoning, to be exact, from some random herbs, probably from his backyard. Eventually, Hong's son, Hong Xiuquan, a 15-year-old, took control over the kingdom, but the king government ignored him like my crush ignores me. And now, the worst thing, the estimated casualty counter of this war was almost 20 to 30 million people. And just so you understand how much 20-30 million was back in the day and still is today, the population of Spain during that time was just 16 million, and the population of Australia or even the Netherlands today is still less than the number of people killed in the Taiping Rebellion in the 1860s. Wow. The king may have stopped the rebellion, but they were now crumbling internally and externally. They had no money, no more central control, very angry neighbors, and many more revolutions which had just erupted. Nevertheless, today the Taiping Rebellion is considered one of the most bloodiest civil wars in modern history. Taiping culture and forces were deeply studied by scholars alike, but to this day we still don't know much about who the Taipings really were and what their ideology stood for. Scholars argue that to some extent the ideas of the Red Revolution in China were actually taken from the Taiping Rebellion. But all in all, I'm just happy we don't have a crazy authoritarian cult who believes they are God running China today, right?
In a bizarre step to bolster the cult of Xi Jinping, the Christian minority in the Jiangxi province of southeast China have been now advised to replace the image of Jesus Christ with that of President Xi Jinping. Beijing has appointed a bishop.
As Beijing faces growing outrage.
Watch how the domes of the mosque have been taken down.
The Communist Party's policy of religious freedom for what he calls unity between.
I guess the story could change, yeah. Loving yourself could get dangerous. It came and now I'm not the same, yeah. Jesus could break every chain, yeah. Don't make me say it again, yeah. Jesus could break every chain, yeah. You might have lacked in your target, but make sure you work on your aim. Do you need peace? Do you need freedom? Do you need love?